The Galactic Train and the Blue Flower. Chapter 1: The Guiding Stars. The town lay wrapped in the stillness of midnight. Sounds that could only be heard in the dead of night seemed to stir, as if they were living beings. As the old clock tower softly chimed the hour, announcing it was midnight, a 17-year-old boy named Noah sat by his window. Sleepless nights were a common occurrence for him, and gazing up at the sky, dreaming of distant worlds, had become his nightly ritual. Just staring at the stars like this, nothing's ever going to change, is it? Noah sighed and reached out to close the window. But just then, a strange sound reached his ears. It wasn't the wind, nor the faint electrical hum of the streetlights. It was something else, a sound like the whistle of a train, distant yet distinct. A train. At this hour. Noah frowned and reopened the window. To his amazement, a glowing streak appeared among the stars, like a shooting star. It moved slowly, drawing closer, until it stopped right in front of his house. Startled but curious, Noah rushed outside. Before him stood a train, quietly waiting. Its black, polished body reflected the starlight, and a soft, warm glow spilled out from its windows, bathing the surroundings in a gentle light. Is this a dream? As Noah muttered to himself, the train's door opened soundlessly. From within emerged an elderly conductor with silver hair, who greeted him with a kind smile and a slight bow. Welcome aboard the Galactic Train. This train is here to take you to where you're meant to be. Still bewildered, Noah found himself stepping forward. Guided by the conductor's beckoning gesture, he climbed aboard. Inside, the train was astonishingly quiet, the ceiling lit with a gentle starlight that seemed to pulse softly. Noah took a seat, and the train began to move, gliding forward smoothly. Outside the window, the view unfolded into a world he had never seen before, an endless expanse of stars flowing like a river, as if the very heavens were embracing him. Where is this train going? Noah asked, turning to the conductor, who seemed lost in thought for a moment before answering. That's for you to decide. But at your first destination, a very important encounter awaits you. Those words stirred something deep within Noah. A very important encounter. What could that mean? What kind of significance would it hold? Yet as he gazed at the stars rushing past the window, a peculiar sense of calm began to fill his heart. Slowly, his eyelids grew heavy, and he drifted into a gentle slumber. The train continued its journey through the starry expanse, as if unraveling the memories and emotions buried deep within Noah's heart. Somewhere in the distance, a sweet scent began to waft toward him, a scent like blue flowers. Chapter 2: The Girl with the Blue Flower. The soft sound of the train coming to a stop woke Noah from his light sleep. Somehow, he had drifted off without realizing it. Through the window, he saw a breathtakingly beautiful landscape. A quiet field stretched endlessly under the starry night sky, its silver grass shimmering in the light of the stars. Scattered across the field were countless blue flowers, their petals swaying gently in the breeze. Noah stood up and made his way to the train's door. As it opened, he stepped out, his feet sinking into the soft grass. A sweet fragrance filled the air, and somewhere in the distance, he could hear a sound like tiny bells chiming. "Where is this place?" he murmured to himself, only to be startled by a figure emerging from the field. A girl, appearing slightly younger than him, walked toward him. She wore a simple white dress and held a single blue flower in her hand. Her deep blue eyes, as though reflecting the night sky, gazed at him with an unspoken familiarity. "I've been waiting for you," she said in a gentle voice, one that felt both unfamiliar and strangely comforting. Surprised, Noah took a step closer. "Waiting for me? Who are you?" "My name is Seals," the girl replied with a smile. "I've been waiting here in this place for travelers like you." She extended the blue flower toward him. Its soft petals seemed to glow faintly under the starlight. "What kind of flower is this?" Noah asked. "It's called a forget-me-not. But it's more than a symbol of memory," Seals explained, her voice calm and soothing. "This flower will help you remember something precious, something you've forgotten." A strange sensation stirred in Noah's chest as he took the flower from her hand. The moment his fingers touched its stem, a soft light emanated from the bloom, and the entire field seemed to shimmer in response. "Why are you here?" Noah asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Seals's expression turned wistful. "I am bound to this place," she said. "I stay here to guard my own memories and to help travelers like you find what they've lost. My purpose is to guide you toward the truth within your heart." Her words resonated deeply with Noah, as though she was speaking directly to the part of him he had tried to ignore. Feelings he had buried long ago began to surface, memories of a time when he had cared deeply about something or someone. "But I don't have anything worth remembering," Noah said, lowering his gaze. "There's nothing I've held on to that's truly important." Seals stepped closer and lightly touched the glowing flower in his hand. "That's not true," she said gently. "We all carry something precious within us, even when we forget. It's just waiting for you to notice it again." As a soft wind rustled through the field, Noah felt the scent of the blue flowers envelop him like a warm embrace. Somewhere far away, the whistle of the galactic train echoed faintly. Seals turned her head toward the sound, then looked back at Noah with a kind smile. "Take this flower with you," she said. "It will lead you to the next place you need to go. There, you'll find the answers you're looking for." Noah hesitated for a moment, then nodded. He gripped the flower tightly and turned back toward the train. As he stepped onto the platform, he glanced over his shoulder one last time. Seals stood in the field of blue flowers, her silhouette illuminated by the faint glow of the petals. She raised her hand in a gentle wave. "We'll meet again someday," she said softly, her voice carried by the breeze. As the train pulled away, Noah watched her figure fade into the distance. The field of blue flowers and the girl who had given him the flower seemed to merge with the stars, until they became part of the vast, endless night. Chapter 3: The Door to Memories. As the train quietly moved forward, Noah sat by the window, gazing at the blue flower in his hand. The flower glowed softly, its warmth a constant reminder of the girl he had just met. Yet, the more he stared at it, the more a strange feeling stirred in his chest, a mixture of nostalgia and unease, as if something forgotten was struggling to resurface. "Do I really have something important to remember?" he muttered to himself. As if responding to his words, the conductor appeared silently beside him. "Your next stop is the door to memories. There, you'll see something you've long forgotten." The door to memories. Noah looked up at the conductor with a questioning gaze. "You mean, my memories?" The conductor nodded gently, his voice calm and steady. "Yes. You'll revisit the path you've traveled so far. By understanding your past, you might find the strength to choose your future." Noah sat quietly for a moment, processing the words. The train began to slow, and soon, it came to a complete stop. When the doors opened, Noah stepped out into a space unlike anything he had ever seen. It was quiet and serene, with only a single, old door standing before him. The door was made of aged bronze, its surface weathered but emanating a faint warmth. "Is this the door?" Noah approached cautiously, feeling the blue flower in his hand grow warmer as he neared it. Taking a deep breath, he placed his hand on the handle. With a gentle push, the door creaked open, revealing a new world on the other side. Through the door was a small, familiar town. Noah's heart skipped a beat as he realized it was the town where he had grown up. Every detail, from the houses to the streets, was exactly as he remembered. Yet, there was something he hadn't expected. At the town square, he saw his younger self, standing beside a girl about his age. She was smiling, her presence warm and comforting. The sight of her sparked a wave of emotions within him, and a name escaped his lips before he realized it. Alice. Alice had been his closest friend when he was a child. She was the one person he had opened his heart to, the one who had stood by him when no one else did. But when Noah left the town years ago, he had forgotten her and the promises they had made. A promise. Noah whispered as the memory came flooding back. The scene shifted, showing the two of them standing in the same square. Alice held a single blue flower in her hand, tears in her eyes as she extended it toward him. "Come back," her voice echoed. "Promise me you'll come back. We'll go see the field of blue flowers together, like we dreamed." Noah's chest tightened as the memory of her words resurfaced. He remembered now, the promise he had made and broken. His younger self had taken the flower and nodded, but that promise was lost the moment he left the town. "I forgot." Noah's voice trembled as he stared at the scene unfolding before him. His fists clenched, a wave of regret washing over him. The image of Alice faded, and the square dissolved into a shimmering expanse of light. Noah found himself back on the train, the memory still vivid in his mind. The blue flower in his hand was glowing brighter than ever, its warmth spreading through his chest. The conductor approached, his calm presence grounding Noah's scattered thoughts. "Memories can weigh us down," the conductor said, "but they can also guide us forward. The question is, what will you do with what you've remembered?" Noah looked down at the flower, his expression firm. I want to understand. I want to know how much that promise meant to her, and to me. As the train began to move again, the stars outside the window seemed to shine brighter. Noah's resolve had solidified, and the journey ahead felt clearer than ever. The whistle of the train echoed through the starry sky, carrying him toward the answers he sought. Chapter 4: The Fragments of a Promise. As the train moved silently through the starry expanse, Noah sat in his seat, gripping the glowing blue flower tightly. The memory of Ellis and the promise he had broken weighed heavily on his mind. The promise we made, what exactly did it mean to her? Noah muttered under his breath, his gaze fixed on the flower. Its faint glow seemed to pulse in rhythm with his thoughts, as if urging him forward. At that moment, the conductor approached him once again. Young man, the next station will bring you closer to your answer, the conductor said calmly. Will Ellis be there? Noah asked, his voice tinged with hope. The conductor gave a small, knowing smile and gestured toward the window. There, you will find what you have lost, and what you must reclaim. The train gradually slowed, coming to a stop. Noah stepped off onto a quiet, ethereal landscape. The sky above shimmered with countless stars, and before him lay a vast, serene lake. The surface of the lake reflected the heavens so perfectly that it was impossible to tell where the stars ended and the water began. At the edge of the lake stood a figure, her silhouette illuminated by the faint glow of the blue flowers growing along the shore. Ellis. Noah called out instinctively, but as he approached, he realized the figure wasn't Ellis. Instead, it was a girl who bore a striking resemblance to her. Her form was translucent, like starlight given shape, and her presence exuded a quiet, otherworldly serenity. I am the spirit of memory, the girl said softly. This lake reflects the truths hidden within your heart. Here, you will see the fragments of what you have forgotten. The spirit gestured toward the lake, and the blue flower in Noah's hand began to glow more brightly. Its light spread across the water, illuminating the surface. Slowly, images began to form, scenes from Noah's past, playing out like a silent film. In the reflection, Noah saw himself as a young boy, standing in the town square with Ellis. She was holding a blue flower, her face lit up with a hopeful smile. He could hear her voice, clear and vivid, even though her lips in the reflection did not move. Promise me, Noah. When we're older, we'll go to the field of blue flowers together. The reflection shifted. He saw himself holding the flower, nodding earnestly before running off. The scene dissolved, replaced by Ella standing alone, her expression tinged with sadness. She waited for me, Noah whispered, his voice trembling. The reflection continued to change. He saw Ella standing by the field of blue flowers from their dream. She held a flower in her hands, gazing out as though waiting for someone who would never arrive. I left her behind, Noah said, his chest tightening with regret. I promised her, and I forgot. The spirit turned to Noah, her eyes filled with a quiet understanding. Memories, both joyous and painful, are what make us who we are. They shape our choices and guide us forward. Your promise to Alice was not just about her. It was about the hope and dreams you shared. Will you let that hope fade, or will you carry it forward? Noah clenched his fists, the warmth of the blue flower radiating through his hand. It's not too late. I want to honor that promise, to Alice and to myself. The spirit smiled and extended her hand toward the lake. The water shimmered, and the image of Alice turned to face Noah. Though it was only a reflection, her soft smile felt real. Then take that flower, the spirit said, and let it guide you to the place where your promise can bloom once more. Back on the train, Noah felt a renewed sense of purpose. The blue flower in his hand glowed brighter than ever, its light filling the car with warmth. As the train began to move again, he looked out at the stars, his determination firm. I won't let the promise fade. I'll find Alice and the field of blue flowers. The train's whistle echoed softly, carrying Noah forward into the vast, infinite night. His journey was far from over, but for the first time, his path seemed clear. Chapter 5: The Promised Place. Under the vast canopy of stars, the galactic train continued its silent journey. Noah sat by the window, the glowing blue flower clutched tightly in his hand. Its soft light filled him with warmth and resolve as the memories of Alice and their broken promise weighed on his heart. Is this the end of the journey? Noah whispered to himself as he gazed out at the distant horizon. There, a faint light shimmered, a place that felt both unfamiliar and deeply nostalgic. The conductor approached, his presence calm and steady as always. Young man, the next station is your final destination. What you've learned and the memories you've reclaimed will guide you forward. Noah nodded slowly, looking down at the flower in his hand. This flower. I feel like it's leading me to the promised place. The one Alice and I dreamed of. When the train came to a halt, Noah stepped onto the platform, the cool air brushing against his skin. Before him stretched a breathtaking landscape, a field filled with endless blue flowers swaying gently under the starry sky. The scene matched the one from his memories, the very place Alice and he had dreamed of visiting together. This is it, the promised place, Noah murmured, taking a few tentative steps forward. The fragrance of the flowers filled the air, mingling with the soft hum of the stars above. Noah walked to the center of the field, turning slowly as he took in the overwhelming beauty of the scene. But as he looked around, his heart sank slightly. The field was empty, save for the flowers and the stars. Alice, are you really here? Noah whispered, his voice carried away by the wind. Then, behind him, a gentle voice called out. Noah, you really came. He turned to see Alice standing at the edge of the field. She looked just as she did in his memories, her face lit with the same warmth and kindness. The sight of her made Noah's chest tighten with emotion, and he ran toward her, stopping just a few steps away. Alice, Noah said, his voice trembling. Alice smiled softly and reached down to pluck one of the blue flowers. She held it out to him. This is for you. This flower means you kept your promise, Noah. Thank you for coming back. Noah hesitated, tears welling up in his eyes as he accepted the flower. I'm so sorry. I forgot our promise. I forgot you. But now, I remember. And I'm here to make it right. Alice shook her head gently. You don't need to apologize. Forgetting isn't the same as losing. What matters is that you remembered and that you've come all this way to fulfill our dream. The two walked through the field together, the blue flowers glowing softly under the starlit sky. For a moment, it felt as though time had stopped, and the world existed only for them. As they walked, Alice turned to Noah, her expression bittersweet. Noah, this is where my journey ends. But your journey is just beginning. Noah stopped in his tracks, his heart sinking. What do you mean? Can't you come with me? Alice gave him a gentle smile, her gaze drifting to the flowers. I'm a part of your memories, Noah. This place, this field, it's where your heart and your past meet. I've been waiting here to help you find what you lost. But now, you need to take the hope we shared and carry it forward. Noah's grip on the flower tightened as he fought back tears. But I don't want to lose you again. Alice stepped closer, placing a hand on his chest. You won't lose me. As long as you carry this flower and the promise we shared, I'll always be with you, in your heart. As the train began to move again, Noah sat by the window, gazing out at the stars. The blue flower in his hand glowed brighter than ever, its light steady and unwavering. Alice's words echoed in his mind, filling him with a sense of peace and determination. I won't forget. I'll carry this promise with me, and I'll keep moving forward. The train's whistle sounded softly, blending with the whispers of the wind and the stars. As the galactic train vanished into the infinite night, the field of blue flowers shimmered in its wake, a quiet testament to the unbroken bond between Noah and Alice.